All right, you all know. Good morning, Michelle. Welcome back, my love. You all know that we are going through the Beatitudes, trying to understand how they are metaphysically informative to us and guiding us about energy and how we can do things in a way of truth and wisdom. So if you missed the other services, please, they're on YouTube. Go watch them. They're amazing and fabulous. So again, Miss Cheryl, we love you, girl, had all of the service prepared and then had no way to deliver it with her voice. So here we are. We get what we get this morning. So when I was asking God what to do, this is what we're doing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That's what the scripture says. Everybody here has heard it. You know it. I wanted to quote from you just to remind everybody. Dr. Rocco Errico is an Aramaic scholar who worked with Dr. Lambza, and Lambza is the one who got access to the original Peshitta texts to translate them from Aramaic into English, and was able to identify nuances, idiomatic phrases, what a word might really mean based on the context of it. So it was a beautiful undertaking. Well, Rocco studied with Lambza for years, and so this is Rocco's commentary on Matthew, which is where we find the Beatitude we're working on today. So I wanted to share with you what the people of Jesus' time would have heard, because they would have heard it translated this way. Got it? This is translation direct. This is not a theological book. It's just translation. Okay, page 62. Was that a good prep? Everybody feel prepped? Good. Can't wait to hear it. Okay. Pure in heart in Aramaic is an idiom. It says a person with a clear mind. A clear heart and mind perceives God. To see God is to know the ever-present divine presence, God immanence. When the mind and emotions are clouded, one does not perceive the good that is present. The mind is a mirror of the soul. A spotted mirror cannot reflect a clear image, and it is the same with the mind. Got it? Okay. Thus, when the mind is filled with hatred and resentment, it cannot reflect goodness. All of mankind's actions, good or bad, begin in the mind. When the mind is clear, it reflects the goodness of God, and then we can see God. Simple, right? That's what they would have heard. The pure in heart, if you've got a clear mind and you think good and you are wishing good, blah, blah, and you're not looking for, let me just give you this. Jesus said there's two types of men, there's two types of energies, those that lift life up and those that diminish life. And so a mind that lifts up is a clear mind. A mind that diminishes life will have spots in it, and it'll have judgments, and it'll have things in it because it does not see the goodness that runs through all things. You got the premise? Okay, great. That one's done. Okay. The clear mind seeks only good and sees only good. The mind cannot be clear when it does not trust the heart. Ooh, that was from Spirit. You got it? The mind cannot be clear if it does not trust the heart. Because if the mind doesn't trust the heart, it's looking in the outer for validation, for information. And is the outer speckled with all kinds of perceptions? Yes, so it's going to see that, and it's not going to know what to do with it. So the mind actually has to learn to trust the heart mind, the mind in your heart, before it can really become pure. So how we do that is releasing judgments of the mind. So I need love without end. Okay, again, Love Without End. This is written by Glenda Green. She's having conversations with Jesus. It's a fabulous book, really amazing. So, I think you guys just hearing it read would be clear to you. All right. Judgment. We're going to talk about judgment for a minute. Judgment will separate you from the sacred space of the heart. Judgment is actually the only sin of which a pure and perfect child of God is capable. Judgment was original sin, and continual pursuit of it will keep you from the presence of your Creator. And when we judge something, what are we doing? We're saying it does not fit in my world. We're saying I don't like that. We're saying I want to have power over that. We're saying I don't like what you're doing, so I'm going to judge you, and I'm going to feel better about it because I have power now over you. whatever reason for judgment is. I judge you because you're doing what I want, and I want to do that, and I can't do it, so I judge you. You hear what I'm saying? It's about misplacement of power. It's about not being clear with what you can have, and we judge things. All right. It is not the mind's province to create reality, but rather to observe, integrate, understand, and implement reality. It's the province of the heart to create it. So if we're in the mind always judging, we are not going to be able to create the reality we want in our heart. You with me? So if we're up here, we're not even into the pure of heart yet. So we have to get out of the wanting to judge. When I was a kid, oh my God, it was a long time ago, guys. You had to have an opinion. Well, don't you have an opinion? Well, no, I really don't. I don't know enough about it. I was a baby. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion, but you need an opinion. Because if you don't have an opinion, then you don't have a presence. And if you don't have a presence, then you have no value. And it's like, oh my God. Is that gone? Or do people still do that to you? Oh, they do it now. Okay, great. I was like, I can't know everything. I can't have an opinion. So it's the same thing where they're asking you to go into your brain, and that keeps us from looking at our heart. All right, to get to the heart, we need to be willing to see. Okay, now I need to keep this book, but the tiny book, the little book, okay. God was working fast this morning, y'all. This is, again, Dr. Rocco Errico, Aramaic, and he's talking about this particular beatitude. But I wanted to share this with you because this is the reality. We think public speaking, I was told that when I was younger, is the greatest fear of all humanity. That's not true. Knowing who you are is your greatest fear. Ha, ha, ha. God is spirit, and we must worship him in spirit and in truth. In spirit, one can see that which human eyes cannot behold. This is because spirit is the essence, the only true reality of life. Man has to see his God and Creator in order to see his real self. Our self is one with God. Are we really afraid to go into our heart and see how cool we are? I mean, our coolness in our heart is not measured by man's perception of us. It's measured by this presence of being where we feel and we know and we are and we celebrate and we're like, oh my God. And we're swept into a space of oneness. It cannot be measured, it cannot be defined, and it's not based on accolades or accomplishments or what I did yesterday. It's not based on anything but me. And we can hit that me in us. Then we found us. And when we found us, we are one with God. You see? My grandmother, again, she was ancient. She was born in the 1890s. So she fought death, oh my goodness, like nobody's business. She was sick for like 50 years. She was in her 90s when she died. And she went to the Baptist church every day until she got sick and couldn't. But in her young life, she was a school teacher. She was blah, blah, blah. Do you know why she didn't want to die? No. Judgment Day. She did not want to be judged. Even though she loved God with all her heart and soul, she could not find that she was one with God. She never found that in her life. She did not want to be judged because she wasn't my grandma. She did some stuff. My family line's very interesting. So she wasn't a saint by any stretch of the imagination. Even when she was a school teacher, she wasn't a saint. But she did not want to face that. She did not learn, did not know that God is in her. You see what I'm saying? So many prayers went up when she crossed over. When we truly see God, we can perceive our real self, which is the authentic core of our being. And until we're willing to see that, can we actually have that pure heart? Thank you, David. So, Spirit said this. To know God is to know self is to know God. Where is our identity? Is our identity more fixed on what we have done wrong? Is it fixed on what we need to heal? Is it fixed on our scars or our wounds, our past battles? Every one of us is wounded. Yes, it's true. Every one of us has not had a perfect life by human standards. The morality dictates of our culture we've all violated many times, and don't tell me you haven't. We have, because they're silly. That's a judgment. Look at me judging. Oh my God. Okay, I caught that. I forgive. Better yet, I forgive myself. But we've all violated expectations, social concepts. We all have. We've not lived a perfect life by human standards. But do we define ourselves by that? Spirit said, are you these experiences, or are these experiences for you? Do we not have every one of these experiences that we've had to learn, to grow, to become greater, even when they were uncomfortable and they hurt and they made us upset, or we got angry, felt violated, blah, 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 all the human emotions. In the end of the story, when you get seasoned, you look back and go, yeah, I needed that. I couldn't have grown without that. Wish it had been easier, but I couldn't have grown without that. And whatever you're going through right now, you will live to see. You have opportunities in this to grow. And you can stay in it as long as you need to. Spirit said, when we are trying to grow, as long as you are trying to heal it, you are still in it. Right? As long as you're trying to heal it, you're still in it. And if you're still in it, be there without judgment. If you can be there without judgment, you can see and begin to drop into the heart. And you can see what can be different. What can be different. So forgiveness, I recall all my energy from this situation. I don't need to make it right. Please, I don't need to make it right. Please don't make it right. I don't need to make it right. I need to do it differently. If I do it differently, then when the opportunity comes again, I will act differently. If I need to make it right, and trust me, the opportunity comes again. Whatever you've done. If I need to make it right and the opportunity comes again, what am I going to do? I'm going to go, I'm going to be apologizing to someone who has no idea what I'm talking about because I'm apologizing to someone in my past. I am so sorry. Or I'm going to be trying to make it up to them for something I did to somebody else. Just be different. Be different. Got it? Okay, so that is all about judging self, in case you didn't catch that. Okay. Pure in heart, clear in mind. Choosing love allows the heart journey to begin if we choose love. When we see ourselves as love, as pure, things can change. Love without end, yet again, page 212. After a change of heart, there is a whole new scenario. He gave an example of a man that was afraid of dogs, a mailman, and every dog bit him. After he decided to love the dogs, no dog even touched him because of the change of heart. Well, we know cause and effect. We know that as you change your vibration, what comes to you is different. But I want to share this with you. Every time the heart truly changes, the future will change as well. For every one of us. And then he says this. Many people are in a state of burnout today. Because they're trying to frantically change life by doing, thinking, and working. A simple change of heart would handle the problem. A powerful change of heart, especially when it's experienced by many, can alter all former predictions. This is Jesus talking. When I walked on the earth 2,000 years ago, the existing conditions were such that a great cataclysm could reasonably be expected within the first 500 years. However, it did not occur. Some 200 to 500 years later, there could have been another great cataclysm. Again, it did not happen. As long as hearts are changing, external predictions are subject to the continual revision. By humanity looking to God, taking God into their hearts, seeking peace, they avoided 2 cataclysmic events that could have occurred. Could we avoid something today? We could avoid something today just by love, just by being love. And it's not our responsibility to look at, quantify, or calculate what might happen. The minute you do that, where are you giving your energy? To whatever could cataclysmically happen. But to keep your heart here, to say, I want to live in love, and to lift into that space of, I want to have a pure heart. I want my mind to be clear and my heart to be pure so I can see clearly and then hear clearly the presence of God, divinity. The kingdom of God simply means the counsel of God. The kingdom of God comes. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Your counsel comes to me, and if I can do what you're guiding me to do, I can have heaven on earth. That's what that phrase means. Your counsel's coming to me. Let me use it. Thy kingdom come. We can change the world, guys. All right. I'm going to give that one back to you, Phil. Okay. The pure in heart know these things. So how do I get my mind to turn to pure in heart? The pure in heart know mentally, you cannot take my good. God has me. Mentally. No man takes my good except I give it. That's what Jesus said. No man takes my good except I give it. Sure, I'm going to give it to the electric company. I love the electricity. Sure, I'm going to exchange services over here because I love it. It's fabulous. Yes, I'm going to give and receive and be in the universal flow of life, but no man takes my good except I give it. If I can have that in my brain, that opens up my heart, you see? And if I tell myself in my brain, I allow God love to flow through me now. If I tell myself, brain, I allow God love to flow through me now. The brain then opens up to the heart. You see, clearing the brain to get to the heart. So Spirit asked me to bring it back to us. How do we do this? Isn't it great? Doesn't it sound fun? By the love of your heart, you can change the world. Doesn't mean you go out and love everybody and go, okay, world, where are you? Because what are you doing when you do that? Judging the world. You're judging the world. You got to stay in your heart. Okay, I'm just loving the world. I'm loving the world, and whatever happens, happens. I'm loving the world because my world's going to be full of love. As I give, so I shall receive. So let's bring it back to us. So I have been dealing with some stress. And Spirit's been talking to me recently. I mean, this is brand new. So I've been having these thoughts, and they started just with one time. They said, smile, it doesn't have to be that way. And I literally smiled. I'm by myself, right? I literally smiled, and I think, it doesn't have to be that way. And my mind shifted. It was really crazy. And they've been working with me, and I've been doing this for about 2 weeks. It's slowly taking me out of that moment of going off the cliff. But smile, Cindy, it doesn't have to be that way. But my brain is producing thoughts that only it knows to produce from what's already been. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's looking in the files going, okay, when this happens, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. It's like, okay, God's saying, no, it doesn't have to be that way. But they asked me to literally smile. So they're taking my brain and rerouting it. So one of my stresses is, so they showed me this. One of our family is moving to another space and time. And I have been allowing my fear of loss to overwhelm my joy of this new beginning. Do you hear what I'm saying? I've allowed my fear of the loss to become so big that I'm lost my sense of happiness for the wonder that's going to happen. It's amazing. I'm so happy, and I want them to be happy, and I love them. It's exciting, and I can see the love there. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Was I judging? And was my heart going, instead of going, take a breath, Cindy, smile. It doesn't have to be this way. Cindy, smile. It's going to be fine. It doesn't have to be this way. You're still connected. They're still family. You'll still see them. It doesn't have to be this way. Okay? Did anybody ever do that? Or is that just me? Okay. Thank you. So keeping ourselves open, keeping our hearts open to new, to light, because as we love, as our heart can change, everything changes. As our heart changes, the scenario changes, the future changes, everything changes. Remember. All right, judgment. There is so much we could judge, you guys. Oh my God. If we were having a judge party, we would have a festival. It would be amazing. We'd all get out in subgroups and let's do, okay, you judge that and I'll judge this and you judge that. It's just amazing. We would have so much fun. We would solve nothing. We would be investing energy in having an opinion of the world that we have no control over. The world that we have control over is our own. So learning how to let our mind not revel in finding power through judgment. Learning to let our mind see beyond it. Every soul is having an experience. I do not know what that experience is, that which I would judge, whatever it is. But it's not my world right now. And if I keep my world filled with love, that love is going to help everybody. It's going to help everybody. So as I keep my world full of love, my microcosm of the macrocosm full of love, it's going to help the macrocosm, right? So maybe that which I would go, oh, maybe I go, interesting scenario that has been created for someone to learn something. God bless them, help them, be with them, let there be divine intervention. We can pray for intervention, we can pray for grace, we can pray for whatever. But then we have to let it go. Not my will, but thine be done, whatever that is. And I'm going to say, what is it to me? Is it on my path? What is it to me? What is it showing me? Am I really attached to it? What do I need to learn? How do I need to heal through this? Go ahead and ask those questions if you're really attached. But realize that the souls there are learning something. And we are all connected. So as I love, and I go, well, I can say, yeah, I'm going to forgive whatever's stimulating within me. I can heal that. I can recognize something. I can change. I can move on. I can send love. Now, I have healed the situation based on my perception, which is the only thing you can heal anyway based on your perception. And the macrocosm is affected. I know those are a lot of words, but did you get it? Okay. The pure in heart shall live in the presence of God. The pure in heart shall live in the presence of God. The pure in heart shall have clear minds which are open to clarity. What is clear? What is true? What is life? What is life empowering? And is it mine to do? Mine is always to love, but is it mine to do? Life empowering. The pure in heart shall live in the presence of God, where the heart of man meets the heart of God, and all is well. The heart of man meets the heart of God, and all is well. So Cheryl texted me this. This was her rewriting summation of the pure in heart shall see God. She said, "Delighted are those whose hearts and minds are clear and aligned." Back and forth. "They shall see beauty, love, and God in every kind." Delighted are those whose hearts and mind are clear and aligned. They shall see beauty, love, and God in every kind. Blessed are the pure in heart. Pure in heart does not mean, just in summation here, that you were good. At all. It does not mean you had a saintly life. It does not mean you meditate hours on end and do yoga every day. It's a state of consciousness, the state of being. Don't let anyone take that from you. Don't let anyone judge you and make you feel less than. You are the pure in heart. You are the God. You are the God-like. So are they. So are they. They just haven't heard the service yet. So that's all. They'll get it when they hear it. So, you guys with me? All right. Let's go ahead and take this within. So if you'll put your feet on the floor and take a breath. And just imagine a beautiful column of light coming over you. And feel that beautiful love of God. And welcome the presence of Jesus Christ to join you in your column of light. And just imagine that you can go into a beautiful, safe space in your consciousness. perhaps in your heart center, wherever you go is fine. Just feel yourself safe. Imagine you can see the energy field of your life just in front of you. It could just be a field of energy, it could be pictures, whatever. And I want you to ask yourself, how much of my identity is tied up in an opinion of others and life? And just allow the energy to congeal in front of you. Maybe it becomes a person, a face, a box, a ball of light. Become aware of how much of your energy, of who you are, is invested in just having an opinions or judgments of others. And if you want to, you don't have to. If you want to, you can say, I now recall my energy back, for this no longer serves who I am. And I release the situation, the people, the thoughts to God for their highest blessing. And I am no longer concerned. And if you were able to do that, just feel the energy around you, feel your feet, feel you, and realize you have more of you present. And as you stand in this beautiful space, in your mind's eye, place your hand on your heart. I love myself. I am good. I am God's. And begin to ask that all barriers that keep you from just feeling the touch of God melt. It's a big ask, I know. But for a moment, for this moment, can all the barriers melt for a moment for me to feel the love of God? Breathe in. Whatever happens is perfect. Because you have asked, it will happen sometime, today, tomorrow. If it doesn't happen now, it will happen. And just breathe in the love. Feel the light surrounding you. Look in Jesus' face, the Christ. Feel that kinship. And if you are ready, feel a desire just to be love. To be love, to enhance life. To have it be a love-filled existence for you. If you choose. Take a breath. And now ask for divine guidance for everything that is before you on your journey. Father, we ask for clear minds and open hearts as we take these next steps. That we are in alignment with the will of the One, and also in alignment with the truth of love. And that is our prayer. Feel the light around you. Let Jesus bring you gently back, coming back from that sacred space. Feel yourself being brought back to awareness of your chair, your feet on the floor. And breathe. And Father, Mother God, we thank you that this world is ours to create. And we love you. And so it is. All right. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Well, I hope you felt yourself. I hope you felt yourself. And if you didn't, it doesn't matter, you will. Because you asked. It'll drop on you all of a sudden. You'll go, oh my God, that's me. And you'll feel it. All right. Say, yeah, God.